Hi everyone, my name is Shorey and I work for Live+Work in Maine, which I'm excited to tell you about. But first, a little bit about me. I grew up in Western Maine in a small town called Sweden. If anyone's ever been to the Freiburg Fair, it's right over near there. I went to Freiburg Academy and then I attended St. Lawrence University in upstate New York, where I studied government and education. And since then, I've had a few jobs and I've lived in a few places across the country, but I'm really happy to be back in Maine. So now for the icebreaker, I'm going to ask everyone a question and I want you to think for a minute and then give your answer. So tell me about a time when you felt really proud of yourself and why. Now I'm going to give your teacher a moment to pause the video so you can give your answer. Good job. I hope you liked answering that question. So a little bit about Live+Work in Maine. Our goal is to show students and other people that our state has great job opportunities. So when you graduate high school or college, or maybe you want to go into the trades or start a business, Maine has a lot of good options and is a great place to work. So we have a few target markets. One example are what we call boomerangs. Do you know what a boomerang is? You throw it and it comes back to you. So in this case, they are people who maybe grew up in Maine or went to school here or to summer camp here, and then they left the state, but maybe they want to come back. So that's an example of someone that we want to reach and let them know that we have good jobs and Maine is a great place to have a family and grow your career. The other group that we do work for are employers. So companies across the state that are hiring and need to grow their workforce. That could be a bank, an insurance company, a small business, a technology company, maybe even some of the places where your parents work. They need people to work there and we want to help find them. So lots of companies have what are called recruiters, and these people work for the specific company and try to find people jobs and then get those people to accept jobs and work there. So we aren't a recruiting organization, but instead we try to help a lot of different companies through our marketing efforts. And another way we are different is we aren't always just highlighting companies. We are showing other great things about Maine, like how there's so much to do here. You can have adventures outdoors, you can go skiing, fishing, biking, hiking. We have really good schools and the people are so nice. So we are a lot more comprehensive. And we do a lot of ad campaigns online, like with Facebook and Instagram, and we have a lot of events too. For example, a few months ago, we went and took over the jetport, the airport in Portland. So when people got off the planes, we gave them cool t-shirts like this and some really cool stickers. And we also try to get on TV a lot. So sometimes I'm on a show called Maine Life on Channel 6, so you can check it out. So now a little bit more about me and some of my own stories. So the question is, what has motivated me throughout my career? And I really like meeting people and getting to work with people on different projects. And for me, once a project ends, I'm always thinking about what else we can do or what else I can create that's really unique. And I've also learned over the years that I'm really motivated by having a purpose. I like working for organizations that have a mission. Another job that I had, the organization worked to get more girls to think about leadership and to get leadership skills. We wanted to work with them and start young so they could do things like run for student government or have a leadership position in a school club. The idea there is that they will be leaders when they get older too. And with my current job, with Live+Work in Maine, we are trying to keep our students like you in the state when you graduate and let you know about all the great career opportunities that we have here. And we also want to get new people to move here since we need a lot more people in Maine. So I really am motivated by working for companies that are mission driven. And sometimes that happens to be nonprofits. So I found myself working for those over the last few years. So the next question here is, who were your mentors and how did they influence you? And who's in your support network? And I'm really fortunate that I've had some great teachers that have encouraged me to dream really big and work really hard. in both middle school and high school and college, and I'm still in touch with some of them today. I had an internship in college, and I worked with a woman who started her own business, and she gave me some really big responsibilities when I was young, and that really influenced me and inspired me. It showed me that I could be someone someday. So for example, I worked in Washington, D.C. in college, and we had an event with some really important people, like people who were in Congress and business leaders. And instead of doing it herself, my boss let me introduce everyone. So I got to practice public speaking. And now the work I do is mostly in Portland, and I have some mentors in some of my past jobs, like the president of a bank and the executive director of the Chamber of Commerce, who's a colleague and a friend. I go to them for things like work life and life advice. So it's really important to have a really diverse mentor group that you can go to when you have questions about different things. So the next question is about what education, training, and experiences help prepare me for my career. Being involved in organizations was really helpful to me. In college, I was in student government and I had a leadership role, and that really helped prepare me for the working world. I had projects that I was responsible for, and it helped me be accountable. And I also studied off campus and lived in Washington, D.C., where I met people from all different backgrounds. And that experience really opened my eyes to how other people think and what they care about, which might be different than mine. But it's important to know about all different people's experiences. And then lastly, I did theater and singing when I was in middle and high school. And that really helped me get over my fears of being on stage, and it really helped me with my confidence. So the last question is, what has surprised you most in your career path? And do you have any advice? So what I want to say about this is you might think that you're on one path, but then something else might interest you or excite you, and it's okay to change it up. When I was in college, I thought I was going to be a nurse, and I really liked science, but then I took a few classes and I found out I really liked politics, and then I got into creating events. So I changed my major and my life took a whole new shape. And since then, I've made a bunch of other changes, and I'm a different person now than I was when I was 12 or 15 or even 20, but I've learned some really good lessons over time. And one thing I'd like to share is make sure you don't burn any bridges along the way. You just never know who you might run into or need to work with again in your life. And just always try your best. You learn from your mistakes, and sometimes those are the best lessons of all. So during this time, take care of yourself and each other. And thank you for allowing me to talk to you for a little bit. And I have one other surprise. These are my dogs, Harley and Jackson. Yay! Say hi. Okay, everyone, be good for your teacher. Bye.